All right, hello wine drinking people. Time for a little more of what I've had to drink yesterday and a busy month of May here in the store. Drinking the world's greatest wines. That's what we do here at the Wine Watch. And, well, you know, even some of the wines we didn't know were the world's greatest wines before we put these events on. That's why we do so many events, because the invaluable experience of tasting wine is the most important part of our job here at the Wine Watch. So my buddy Antonio from Terra España calls up and says, Andrew, do you want to do a tasting with Bodegas Arrayan? Never heard of Bodegas Arrayan, but I know Antonio has got great Spanish wines. The export director, Alvaro Garcia, was in, so I said, why not? This is a great opportunity for me to learn a little bit more about wines from an area, Mentrida, which I'm not that familiar with, very close to Madrid, and you know there's 65 different DOs in Spain today, and there's 2 DOs each, the Priorat and Rioja, but you know there's a lot of areas that were very popular years ago, like this one. This is an old region. Over 200 years ago, a lot of the fruit from these vineyards used to get sold to make wines for the royal families of Spain. So very popular, and probably, somewhat because it's so close to the city of Madrid. But still, this is a very wealthy gentleman in Spain that founded this winery. And, when money is no object, it is amazing the results. And instead of going with a grape like Grenache, which they felt, would have taken a little bit more time to produce great wines, they figured we're going to go with more international varieties. Cabernet Sauvignon, Petit, Verdot, Merlot, and Syrah. And, these easier varietals to plant and turn into high-quality wines in a short period of time. This is a beautiful property here, and they've got a large property, but only 65 hectares of vineyards. And they were planted in 1999, and I had some problems working with some of the international varietals initially, but they finally gotten things right over here. The yields are in line, and the wines are really exciting. This Arrayan label, La Verdosa, this is just made for this country because they needed something. It's more an entry-level wine. This winery's caught on in Spain. It is one of the hottest properties, and they didn't want to sell this product in Spain because it's not expensive enough. Their entry-level wine in Spain's got to be in the $20 price range. This wine is $15. A really nice little wine, very soft, really easy to drink, and 60% Syrah, and then Merlot, Syrah, Petit, Verdot make up the rest. And really pure fruit in this wine, really fresh and clean, and soft, round tannins, just a lovely everyday red wine. And I don't know if I'd pick it out as Spanish, though. That's one of the things about all these wines, very international in style. And when I say not Spanish, maybe, you just don't notice as much of the old world in these wines. Like I said, very clean, very fruity, and still have good freshness, though. Maybe that's the telltale sign. They're from a cooler climate area, high plains region, is that freshness at the end, and the balance in these wines. Really nice balance in all of the wines in this portfolio from Arrayan. All right, the Seleccion was up next, and this wine is a blend of the same varietals, a little different proportion, 30-30-30, and the first 3, and then the rest Petit Verdot. And this wine sees 8 months, and a lot of it in third-year oak barrels, so not a lot of new oak. That's not the focus of these wines, although there is some new oak in the blend, and the other higher-end wines, the Seleccion. It's got a lovely sweet tobacco spice, some mocha, some roasted meats in there, very smooth and drinkable style. Also, this wine's got a little bit more complexity to it, and a little longer finish, though, but still lovely balance in all these wines. This 2007 Seleccion, excellent juice. The Syrah, probably the crowd favorite of the evening, and this one had that telltale kind of black olive and fresh herb you get from an old world Syrah, fresh plowed earth mocha, and spends a little bit more time in new oak here. A really velvety, smooth tannins. This wine's got a lot of dark plums, some bittersweet chocolate, and that black olive and herbal note lasting through the finish here. Really nicely balanced Syrah, excellent juice, and drinking really nicely at the moment, this 2007 Syrah. The Petit Verdot, this is a grape that's very hard to make on its own. Only a few dozen examples in the world of this varietal as a single varietal. Well, I think there's like 35 in this country. But anyways, the name actually means a little green one. So you notice some greenness. Very hard to get this grape completely ripe. But this one's got some nice black cherry fruit also. A bit of floral notes in this wine. Some black spices. A bit of tannins on the palate, though. But pretty ripe. I'd have to say, this wine fairly well balanced, and a great example of a single varietal, Petit Verdot, some chalky, bitter cocoa dry tannins coming at the end, but still overall very nicely balanced. And then the premium. This is their, I don't want to say top-end wine, but it's the most expensive wine they do. They take a selection of the best fruits from the property. You want to say the oldest vines, but they Oldest vines were planted in 1999, so they're not that old. But it's a blend of 55% Syrah this year, 20% Merlot, 15% Cab, and 10% Petite Verdot. This wine definitely had the most complexity to it. As the wine opened up, it really gained the most from breathing in the glass. Dried cherry, kind of fig and prune-like fruit notes. Even though very ripe, this wine still has great balance, really smooth and silky texture on the tongue with nice balance and depth of fruit and nice length on the finish. This wine also was my pick for wine of the night, but the Syrah very close behind. And then the value of the night, well, this wasn't from the winery Arrayan, but this is one of Antonio's items, a Biutiful Cava. This wine 80% Macabeo, 20% Chardonnay, under $15. Amazing. This wine spends 15 months entourage. Lovely freshness, a little that briny character that you get from Cava, but incredible the value that you find in Cava today for short money. The best value in method Champenois sparkling wine by far. That's what we had to drinks with the folks from Arrayan Winery in Mentrida. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.